At the end of the session, you should be able to define critical thinking. These at least 5 importance of critical thinking, and identify how to build your critical thinking capacity. These are the few of the objectives that we are looking at in this 60 minutes. Within the 60 minutes, we might not be able to cover everything. We won't be able to cover everything on critical thinking, but I'm sure you'll be able to go home with something that will help you to go and dig deeper on it to change some aspect of your life. There's a quote that says, every problem has a solution, although it may not be the outcome that was originally hoped for or expected. Do you agree with this? Every problem has a solution, although it may not be the outcome that was originally hoped for or expected. If you agree with me, you can just type in yes, yes. If you don't agree, just say no. Okay, Jamiru say yes. Just say yes. Osubia said yes. Yeah. There's no problem that does not have a solution. The only difference that the outcome that was originally hoped for may not come, but every problem have a solution. And it takes critical thinking to be able to handle such. Thank you. Then critical thinking, what is then critical thinking? It is a process, not just a destination, the goal of which is to make reasonable decisions about what to believe or what to do. That's what Robert Enis said. A process, the goal of which is to make reasonable decision, not just decision, but reasonable one, about to which, what to believe or what to do. Is that, what should I believe? What do I do? Ability to be able to make a decision about what to believe and what to do is what they call critical thinking. If you are lacking in critical thinking, your ability to make reasonable decisions about what to believe and what to do. I don't know about you, there are some people that talk to you and you are wondering, what should I believe? Like yesterday, somebody called me and reported an issue to me. And the other party called me and reported an issue to me. And I kept wondering, whom should I believe? I spoke to my wife. I don't know whom to believe among these two. Your ability to make a reasonable decision based on what to believe and what to do is what we call critical thinking. And we are going to look at the process. That's why it's a process. It's not a destination. And Gary Jackson said, critical thinking means developing an ever better worldview. Ever better worldview and using it well in all aspects of your life. See what Gary said. In all aspects of your life. The essence of critical thinking is questioning and arguing logically. You are making a good decision in every aspect of your life. That's what Gary Jackson said about it. So we can see clearly from here that it allows you to have information and make an objective judgment. Critical thinking allows a person to analyze information and make an objective judgment. And by impartiality, evaluating the fact. Can you see the word impartiality? Evaluating the facts related to a matter, you can draw realistic conclusion that will help you make a decision. You can see the issue of decision. The essence of critical thinking is your ability to make a decision that will make you better, either in what to do or in what to believe. And we are going to look at the advantages later. Then it will help you to be able to make a decision to know that the issue of critical thinking is non-negotiable. It's something that you and I should actually move into from time to time. able to properly analyze a situation and come up with a logical and reasonable, see the word logical, reasonable conclusion is highly valued by an employer. Every employer, either at work, either as a child, either in the school, either in the family, either in a place of worship, there's no one that does not appreciate logical and reasonable conclusion. Let me ask you a question. Is there anyone here who appreciates logical and reasonable conclusion from people around you? If that is you, can you type yes? In case you appreciate logical and reasonable conclusion, you can type yes. You can unmute yourself and say yes. Okay. Edwin George says yes. OVP say yes. Dr. Tanko said yes. Jonathan Bambra said yes. Jamiro is saying yes. So I can almost conclude that we are all saying that making logical and reasonable conclusion is highly valued. How will you feel if every time you speak, you say, oh, that's a wonderful conclusion, that's a logical conclusion, that's a reasonable conclusion? I don't know about you, I've heard this in the past, after somebody has spoken, say, that's nonsense, that's not logical, that's not reasonable. What are they saying? That person is not a critical thinker. A critical thinker, if you have them around you, you can relax. Because they are driven by facts. Their facts is always equally going along with the objectives and no sentiment about it. They are looking at where they are going, and how to get to where they are coming. So you can see from there, being able to properly and analyze a situation and come with a logical and reasonable conclusion is highly valued anywhere and anytime. And somebody said critical thinking is observing the world with an open and skeptical mindset with the goal of exploring all alternatives. Can you see the word? Exploring all alternatives as much as possible. Let me ask a question. Why must you explore all alternatives? Why must you explore all alternatives? You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can send in a chat. You can unmute yourself and speak. In your making decision, why must you explore all reasonable alternatives objectively? I'm waiting for a response. So are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So why must you explore all alternatives objectively in making a decision?
Well, this is Jamiro. For me personally, is in order for me to explore and connect both logical ideas to see the bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, you want to see the best of the best. You may have a lot of ideas and solutions to a problem, but like we said, you're coming up with the logical one, the one that best fit. You see the bigger picture. A critical thinker person see the bigger picture. So that's your ultimate goal. So you have to come up with different, like I said, solution, and then pick among them to say, well, this best fit this situation.
Thank you so much. Somebody said, so that you don't arrive at wrong decision. Thank you. That's what Ozubia said. And somebody said, basically, because there will always be many sides to the issue. Thank you, Pastor George. So we can see clearly from there that when you are talking about a critical thinker, is exploring all alternatives. But look at it, is exploring it objectively. If there's a sentiment there, there's a tendency of making a decision that is not right. But a critical thinker always look at things objectively. It is your ability and my ability to orient our mental models to view reality through an emotionless lens, seeking the truth by questioning our own assumptions and disconstructing arguments logically. Let me ask a question again. Why must my decision be void of emotion? Why should it? I want us to be interactive this evening. Dr. Tango says subjectivity brings biases. If you want your solution to be replicable, it is paramount to be objective as possible. Thank you, Dr. Tango. So if it's not void of emotion, you are not likely going to come out with an objective solution. And if your decision is laden with emotion, you will discover that it becomes very difficult for you to be able to arrive at your solution. Emotion can be based on tradition, can be based on partisan, can be based on religion, can be based on ethnicity. If you move in that direction, you are not likely going to come out with an outstanding result that can actually be beneficial to other people or that can accomplish something lasting. I say it is our ability to identify gaps and uncover what is missing to improve our quality of decision, the quality of our decision. There are always gaps, but what are we targeting? Quality decision. As an individual, I hate decisions that are not quality. I hate mediocrity. And you can actually come out with quality decision when you think critically. Dr. James Swadder said, it is our ability to unravel different strands of significant information, through a continuous stream of feedback so that we continuously destroy and create new mental models, allowing us to act closer to reality. Like maybe in data analysis, you call it clean data. It means you want all your decisions to be of high quality, that is void of emotion, but it's objective and can be replicated, and it can actually be scalable to other things. And that's what about critical thinking. It helps you to make the right decision. The decision that you make affect the quality of your life. Do you agree? That the decision you make affect the quality of your life. Do you agree? Yes or no? Or you can unmute yourself and speak. Somebody says yes. Arusa said yes. Jonathan said yes. Subia said definitely. Dr. Zanko said yes to a great extent. Jala said yes. Sabina said yes. Nadra Tubaru said, yes, I agree. Let me ask you a question. If our leaders, either in place of worship or in the nation, are making right decisions, how will our country look like, or how will our nation look like? If our leaders are making right decisions, either in religious place or in political or in government, how will our nation look like, or how will our continent look like? You can unmute yourself and speak. We want to learn from one another. And so The country will not be mad in poverty. Thank you. Francis said the best. Dr. Eder says everyone will benefit just, then we have a just and fair nation. I agree with you also that we will all be embellished in a fair nation, in a just nation. The best comes out. I strongly believe, and I stand to be queried, that African countries will have almost more than enough to be able to meet the need of our people. But because we don't have critical thinkers or thinkers who are objective, that is why we are possibly languishing in where we are. Another person, the nation will head to a right direction. Thank you. If you want to ensure that your life, you live your life best, most successful and happy life, you are going to want to make conscious choices. The choice you make will determine the quality of your life, whether you are going to be happy, whether you are going to be successful. Success can never be accidental. No. Success is a product of decisions that you and I are making, either in your career, either in the family, either in your business, either in the ministry, either in the nation, either as a child, either as a student, either as a father. No matter where you are, the choice you make determines how successful and how happy you can be. At times I do say that nobody can make you unhappy except you. And information will come, you will process it, and you will think about it. For example, if somebody should slap you, maybe somebody younger than you might be wondering, why should this young boy slap me? You might even say, oh, this great insubordination. You might quickly look at yourself, it's because I'm not rich. You might quickly conclude, because I'm not educated. And because of the process of your thinking, you may end up being depressed. Just because you have thought in that way. And the same young boy could slap another person. And the person is wondering, so the world has become so rotten that a young boy can slap an elderly person. Oh, I have work to do now. I need to do something. I spend a good portion of my life pursuing money. I need to begin to work on young people to see how many of them we can redeem. From that challenge, a vision might be given back to. An assignment might be given back to. Whereas the other person has gone into depression. Why? Because of their thinking. But a critical thinker will look beyond being depressed. It will look at how can we solve this problem. On the average, I've had so many people, they complain about everything, complain about their church, complain about the pastor, complain about the government, complain about anything. The question is that, what are you thinking of the way out? Almost nothing. It's just playing game. So critical thinking skills help you to make decisions that you won't regret. Please take note. Critical thinking skills help you to make decisions that you won't regret. There are some few things that you need to note. Someone with critical thinking skills can understand the link between ideas, determine the importance and relevance of arguments and ideas, recognize, build, and appraise arguments, identify inconsistencies and errors in reasoning. That's somebody with a critical thinking skill. One, you can understand the link between ideas. Two, you can determine the importance and relevance of arguments and ideas. Three, you can recognize and build and appraise arguments. Four, you can identify inconsistencies and errors in reasoning. Five, you can approach problems in a consistent and systematic way. Six, you can reflect on the justification of your assumption, your belief, and your values. Why do I believe what I believe? Why am I making this decision? Why am I holding on to these values? After reflecting on it, you can justify it. You can call it conviction in some circles. Motivate people to partner with you in the pursuit of your dream. That's one of the things that critical thinkers enjoy. They're able to motivate people to partner with him or her in the pursuit of his or her dream. Let me now ask a question. Can you measure type of people that needs to think critically? You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can send a chat. The kind of people that you think needs to think critically, and possibly why. Oh, Pastor George says everyone needs to think critically. Any other comments? Okay, OVPC managers, okay. Leaders for better outcomes, that's also be for everyone. Yeah, I'm waiting for more responses. Anyone that has a choice to make, automatically everybody. Thank you, Wahid. Maybe said everyone, more especially duty bearers and decision makers. Thank you, Melvin. But said our leadership in government needed. Thank you, Mr. Detukasi. Let me prompt you. Do husbands need critical skill? Dr. Tanko said, I have preoccupation. One could posit that critical thinkers are feared in a Christian setting. These are essential in every industry and every career, Jamiro. Okay, like I said, let me just pose some questions. Do husbands need to be critical thinker? What of wives? Can you see? I mean, I can say yes, everyone. That's the truth about it. So you can see clearly that everyone need it. In all sincerity, if one of the partners is not a critical thinker, the chance that that home will become the best is very remote. You need a critical thinker in every segment. Like what Dr. Danko said, that it is feared in the Christian cycle. And why was this feared? Because there are some people that work on people's emotion. And you know, as a critical thinker, emotion is almost at zero level. But if we are talking about people with strong conviction, even in faith, they have to be critical thinkers. That's how they can look at situation that how come this is this and this is this? How come we look at 66 books in the Bible and they're almost saying the same thing? And they are correlated because they are critical thinkers. They look at quite a number of things. But when a man is not a critical thinker, I can't guarantee that he or she will hold on to the faith to the end. Because it's after your critical thinking and you come out with a conviction that, oh, God exists. You come out with a conviction that what I'm standing for is true. So you can't, like I said, to a large extent, is void of emotion. So everybody needs to be a critical thinker. Everybody needs it. Can we mention some benefits of a critical thinker? You can unmute yourself and speak, or you can send in a message. What do you think are some of the benefits of a critical thinker? Benefits of critical thinking. Jackie said problem solving skills. Okay, they have problem solving skills. Daniel said, you make better decision. Sabina said, you make right decision. Problem solving. Dr. Tanko said, clear direction, time saving, prosperity. Can you see better decision, right decision, problem solving skills, clear direction, time saving, prosperity, good decision. That's what Marika Sama said. Emeka said, objective decision, deriving at the appointed, expected point. Thank you. Dr. Laide said, productivity and quality life. Wari said, the outcome of the critical thinking stand the test of time. Thank you. Your decision is always stand the test of time. Can you see a correlation between what Apodoni said and what Inuma said? Said the outcome of a critical thinking stand the test of time. And the two of them are speaking from different countries. And the other one say, your decision always stand the test of time. You can see the word, test of time. You create an impact. Thank you, Gabi, and be able to make better decisions. We are looking at the benefits, impact, better decision. Mr. Adeluka said critical thinking is sine qua non. The advantages are inelastic. Thank you. So there are just many. So we can see clearly that when we are talking about critical thinking, it is lack. It's lacking in our community. And that's why we're in trouble. Let's give an instance. During election, I don't know where you are, irrespective of your country, at least in African country. Somebody will come and maybe give a bag of rice to a family. Vote for me. And they know this person lacks credibility. This person lacks competence. This person has been there maybe for 4 years. He did nothing. And people say, oh, he has given us a bag of rice. We are going to vote for him. Let me ask you a question. Do you think they actually thought logically or critically? Yes or no? Voting for somebody who lacks credibility, somebody who lacks competence, just because they gave you a 25 kg bag of rice. About you said no, they are not logical thinkers. They are not critical thinkers. From what is, okay, Dr. Ede said no. From what we have seen in our various countries, do you think a lot of people are logical thinkers? From what I've seen in our countries or in our schools, do you think a lot of people are logical thinkers? Maybe say, I don't think so. Negative, no logical thinking. They said no. So we can see clearly that the issue of logical thinking is at zero level or at a very low level in our various nations and communities. Dr. Tako said, people are mostly driven by their emotion. At the moment, let me now ask a question. If you have your way, at what level will you introduce critical thinking? At what level of education? At what level of education will you introduce logical thinking, critical thinking? Okay, Jabi said kindergarten. Mary said secondary. Techno said primary school. Primary, secondary, kindergarten. Preschool. Sabina said preschool. Inuma said at all levels. Mr. Adeluka said it must start at primary school. So we can see clearly that the issue, we might not have influence Jamiru said, I think it's at elementary school. Start them at early stage. Now that it is not available in our schools, what can you do? What will you advise parents? Jamiru is elementary years. What can you advise parents? Maybe say at secondary school, people can now think and process ideas well. Don't you think it should start from home? The same way you are teaching them basic things at home. Don't you think that it is high time we begin to teach our children critical thinking so that they can make a quality decision, improve decision, become the best, make an optimal use of the resources that God must have given them? It's a question that you and I may need to actually evaluate and think. Depending on whom you are, either in the church, either at home, I think the issue of critical thinking should be given a priority. We have about 24 minutes more. Let me now quickly go to what I have as a benefit before I go to what we can see as skills. They're talking about this. Critical thinking is universal. What does it mean? It is relevant in every segment of life. Yeah, Melvin said, yes, because it is first agents of socialization. Thank you, Melvin. Home. I'm talking about the advantages or the importance of critical thinking. It is universal. It is relevant in every segment of life. Do you agree with me that critical thinking is relevant in every segment of life? Do you agree? Yes or no? That you need critical thinking in every aspect of life. Okay. Maybe you said yes. Jeremiah said, I agree. So you can see it started in every segment of life. That's what about critical thinking. And because that's one of the benefits. When you are a critical thinker in that aspect of your life, you see that it becomes so easy for you to make decisions that are right. It becomes easy for you to make decisions that are correct. It becomes easy for you to be able to do the right thing. And you make an optimal use of your resources. Thank you. Mary said yes. Gabriel said, yeah, it is the reason for all improvements in the world. Thank you, Gabriel. The reason for all improvement in the world. If we lack critical thinkers in our community, forget about improvements. If we lack critical thinkers in our family, forget about progress. If we lack critical thinkers in our nation, then mediocres will rule. If we lack medical thinkers, even in our religious circle, charlatans will be bamboozling people and moving them here and there. There are several things that are wrong that only critical thinkers can solve them. And you won. It helps you to solve problems as quickly and as effectively. Two things. Quickly and effectively. Because you are able to process the information. You look at various alternatives and you are making a decision that is void of emotion, but is objective. It can be at work. If you are surrounded with critical thinkers, you will make more progress in your work. If you surround yourself with critical thinkers, even in your career, you will make tangible progress. If you surround yourself, even in your business, you will make more progress and you'll be more productive. Not that some people you surround yourself with yes men. On the average, yes men are seldom critical thinkers. Yes men are seldom critical thinkers. Without critical thinking, all innovation will fail. Thank you, Jeremiah. Yes men are seldom critical thinkers. And remember, when there's no critical thinking, there can be progress. But unfortunately, we have men who surround themselves with yes men. It helps to know how to break down text and in turn improve your ability to comprehend and influence other people. Not by working on their emotion, not by manipulating them. No, you come with facts and they are logical and they are true. So it's easy to have what? Sincere and genuine followers, not psychophants. But when you have critical thinkers, you will seldom have psychophants around you. You have genuine people to influence. Number 4, it promotes creativity. You agree with me that critical thinking promotes creativity? Do you agree? Yes or no? Jeremiah say, yes, I agree. Maybe say, yes, I do. It promotes creativity because you're able to think out of the box. You solve problems. Not only do you solve problems, you come up with new and creative ideas. You solve problems and you come out with what? With new and creative ideas. You are not only solving it, but as well as solving them, and you come out with what? New and creative ideas. Critical thinkers always promote creativity. The reason why we are stagnant and thinking is because we don't have critical thinkers. I'm sorry that sometimes you look at the educational system, you look at the books, you look at the methods of learning, you look at the methods of teaching. It's almost as it was in the beginning, so it is, and ever shall be. The content may not change, the vision may not change, but the strategy can always change, even in the church. The vision, the mission may not change, but your strategy should change. It could be in the family. Every time you say a particular thing, your husband flares up. I'm not supporting that it should flare up. But you do it, number 1, it flared up, there was trouble. Number 2, it did the same thing, there was trouble. As a critical thinker, maybe one day you did something and it was so excited, so happy, so delighted. And you are wondering, what did I do today that makes him so happy? A critical thinker will possibly repeat the same process. And by the time before you know it, is able to change the tempo and the trajectory of the home because a critical thinker. But you do the same thing this week, trouble. Next week, trouble. 3 months ago, trouble. Obviously, you are not a critical thinker. Critical thinkers, they promote creativity. It affects your family, affects your business, affects you as an employer, affects you as an employee. 5, it helps you in self-reflection and improve self-esteem. A critical thinker will sit down and examine himself. Even after success, you still examine it. Let me ask a question. Why must you examine yourself after success? Why must you examine yourself after success? We can hear you.
The latest reports, together with Ruth Group in the nation's energy sector, stakeholders present described the corporate knowledge.
Someone say innovations, okay. So we can see clearly that it is ideal for us to examine yourself even after you have already made success. With that one, you are able to make a right decision. We need to be able to, okay, Dr. Jeremy said, success can become a source of stagnation. Thank you. Jonathan said to create more rules for more progress. There are some, as soon as they succeed, no more critical thinking, and they remain stagnant. But there's always a room for improvement. At least that one is always there. You create the rooms for more progress. It's either to repeat what you have done or to do it better. Number 6, enhances problem-solving skills. So I mentioned that one. 7, it enhances excellent performance in your career. When you are a creative thinker, it enhances your performance in your career. So a few years ago, I was working in the banking sector. There are some forms that I designed where I was working. It was never there. When need arises, I just discovered that I could come out with some of those things. I want to believe some of those forms are still there. When you are adding value in your organization, I can assure you, your rate of promotion will grow. If your company is always solving problems, coming with critical thinking, I can assure you that company will grow. It can be the church, it can be a place of worship. Gabriel said, one is to reflect on easier ways you could have done it. Yes, at least to save time. It engenders ingenuity. Thank you, Melvin. Better decision making attends to critical thinking. Better decision making. And you know, better decision making will lead to what? Improved quality of life. It may actually lead to increase in your salaries or revenue. It might shorten the time at which you spend on doing an activity. It may improve your parenting. It may improve how you are dealing with your wife or how you are dealing with your husband. It encourages better decision making. There are some people that have made wrong decisions and their home are scattered. There are some people who have made wrong decisions and their growing business has gone down. In fact, some people have made some decisions that are not critical and they are dead. Lack of critical decision can lead to physical death, can lead to spiritual death, can lead to death of your business, can lead to death of your marriage, can lead to the death of that career. So it's something that you can't go with. It makes you happier. Why? You have a better understanding of yourself. And because you have a better understanding of yourself, you are able to avoid any kind of negative or limiting belief. You focus more on your strengths. When you look at critical thinker, they focus more on their strength. It makes one to think of the unthinkable. Thank you, Melvin. It makes you a critical thinker to a large extent. I'm not talking about those who dwell on negativity. Those ones are not being objective. They possibly look at the dark side every time. But when you look at the clear side every time, and you look at what could have done, take for example, let's assume somebody stole my money. Do you know I can end up crying? I can end up not trusting anybody. And I can think the other way. Thank God I'm not the one that stole somebody's money. It's my money they stole. It wasn't my money. I mean, it was my money. I didn't steal somebody. So it's better I'm not a thief. That could be a critical thinker.
They go and push the
way around,
behind the door.
To cry. On that one, it makes you happier. You are able to make well-formed, informed opinion. It allows you to ensure that your opinions are based on facts and help you sort through all that extra noise based on fact. Better citizen. How can critical thinking help us to be a better citizen? Can somebody quickly talk? How can being a critical thinker make you a better citizen? Emeka said it enhances collaboration. Thank you. Increases productivity, JB. Thank you. So how can critical thinking make you a better citizen? Does anyone want to respond? Okay, because of our time, I move ahead. You are okay. It reminds you, thank you, Melvin. It reminds you of your civic responsibility. So you are more committed to civic responsibility to individual. You are able to see the entire picture without getting sucked into bias and propaganda. You have value, add value. Thank you. They are coming in. You add value to the society. Thank you, Toby. leads to innovation that solve problem that the community might need help with. Thank you, Jeremiah. Critical thinking can help to avoid unethical and fast gratification. Dr. Tanko. Do you know when you are a critical thinker, you are not, I'm sorry to use the word, you are not sold into bars or propaganda or into where it's for my tribe or it's for my particular locality, it's in our community. No, a critical thinker looks beyond that. It's looking at the future and looking at a bigger picture out of it. 12, it improves relationship. It can allow you to make better understanding the perspective of others. Thank you, Emeka said, influences your community positively. Thank you. And Mr. Adetukasi said, critical thinkers will always think positively and looking forward. Thank you. It improves your relationship. You can see other person's perspective of others. And it helps you to become more open-minded toward different view. A critical thinker is open-minded. A number of people are close-minded. If you are close-minded, you are not likely going to get the best out. Critical thinking, Jonathan said, makes a nation to be a good footing and raise this direction. A critical thinker is open-minded. There are some times that you and I may have closed our mind and we actually miss a great opportunity. 13, it allows for creativity. We mentioned it. You see yourself as limitless when it comes to possibilities. You are constantly looking to take things further. It reduces parochialism. Thank you, Melvin. It enhances problem-solving skills that we mentioned. These are some of the benefits of being a critical thinker. These are some of them. So what are some of the skills that you need? We have 8 minutes, so I move quickly. What skill do you need to enhance critical thinking, to improve critical thinking? A critical thinker can never get to a limit. They keep growing. They're always looking for a way of improvement. They're always looking for better ways of doing it. Number one, you must be analytical. You must be analytical in your thinking. Able to properly analyze information is the most important aspect of critical thinking. You analyze information objectively. You deal with facts and not with emotion. You deal with truth and not propaganda. Analytical thinking is what is needed as number one skill. Number two, good communication. Whether you use it for gathering information, you need for communication to gather information. You need communication to be able to convince others that your conclusions are correct. There are times that people can't gather information because they can't communicate effectively. They can't convince others because they can't communicate effectively. So to be a good critical thinker, your communication must be sound. To gather information, you need it. To convince others, you need it. To get the information from your spouse, you need it. To convince your spouse on why you should build a house instead of traveling out of the country for an holiday, you need it. You need to be able to, maybe you need to convince someone that, oh, it's good for us to pray instead of going to party, or going to party instead of praying. You need it. You need to be able to, you need it to communicate, maybe to a child that, no, I want you to be with me for your 15 years, and you learn from me, rather than I train you out of the country. You need it. You need it to be able to say that, oh, we relocate or we stay. You need it to communicate that we need to flee or we need to stay. So you can see, you need good communication to be able to be a good critical thinker. And should be creative also, out of the box. Be able to discover certain patterns of information and make abstract connection between seemingly unrelated data. It will improve your critical thinking ability, creative thinking, open-mindedness. Previous education and life experience leave their mark on person's ability to objectively evaluate certain situations. There are some things we learn when we are going to school. There are some things we learn from our parents. There are some things that we learn that has put a barrier to our ability to think. We acknowledge them, these biases, but you can improve all this through critical thinking. There are some things that they told us when we were young, and nobody actually questioned it. There was a particular time, I think, I don't want to buy a needle. And somebody said, they don't sell needle in the night. And you're wondering, why wouldn't they sell needle in the night? I don't know how they came about it. But somebody must say, don't sell needle in the night. And nobody questioned it. So there are several things that we need to actually be able to question. Not because we want to rock foundation. No, but we want to get a conviction and be sure that what we are standing on is true. Like the people of the Berea in the Bible. Even after Paul has spoken, they still went to their Bible to go and confirm whether what Paul taught them was true. What was that one? Critical thinking. They could say, oh, it is Paul, and that's all. 5, ability to solve problems. The ability to correctly analyze a problem, work on implementing a solution is another viable skill. 6, asking thoughtful questions. Learn to ask questions. Learn to ask questions. Asking the right question is a crucial step in formulating correct conclusion. But when you ask questions, ask thoughtful question. A question you have thought about. The right question is needed to be able to do that one. Let me ask you a question. As we round up, we have just about 3 more minutes to go. What is your take home in what I'll be discussing? What is your take home? You have 3 minutes to round up. You can chat, send in a chat, or you can talk. What is your take home? Okay. Jackie said the importance of critical thinking. Jackie said the importance of critical thinking. Jackie said somebody is asking, what is the relationship between poverty and critical thinking in Africa? Let me quickly add to mention that one. I'm coming to some of those things. Why he was asking a question, now, what's the relationship between poverty and critical thinking in Africa? 1, the dependency syndrome is alarming. That even people with 2 hands, we believe that my uncle is working in the bank So he must take care of my responsibility. It's not thinking that I have 2 hands to work. Somebody who can barely take care of himself or herself. We have 6 children or 10 children because he assumed there's a brother or there's an uncle to take care. That's another thing. 3, instead of working hard, we will rather believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. I believe God can do miracles. But to believe in miracles at the expense of working hard, critical thinking will say, even check through the book of God and the Bible that I know very well. The issue of hard work is not negotiable. So you can see, critical thinking is one of the reasons, lack of critical thinking is one of the reasons why poverty is so much entrenched in our system. I don't know what I respond to you. Why? Let me quickly read the response so that we round up from there about some of the things that have been mentioned. Jeremiah said, critical thinking is the key for progress in life and community. Thank you. Abodun said, critical is needed in all fields of human endeavor. Mary says, critical thinking is relevant at every stage of life. Dr. Lady said, it sharpens my critical thinking skills. Gabriel said, it helps you to harness the best of society. Yaki said, the importance of critical thinking cannot be overemphasized. Sabina said, critical thinking must be introduced in schools. Pastor George said, everyone needs to endeavor to consider the decision-making process and be sure that decisions are properly made based on all available facts rather than mere assumption. Thank you. Jamiru said, critical thinking skills is needed in every stage of life if you want to be successful. Thank you so much for being part of our meeting today. We, all things being equal, the last Tuesday of next month, I shall be looking at another topic. Critical thinking is called life skill. Thank you so much. In case you want the video version of it, you can just drop your email and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much. Tanko said, even God is a critical thinker. Hence, we must review some of our African foundation established. Thank you, Dr. Tanko. So if you want the link to the video, please just drop your email and we'll get back to you. Have a wonderful, nice song. Maybe some is in the morning. Thank you so much. Any books on critical thinking? There are so many books on critical thinking, Mrs. Williams.